Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help, and welcome back to another video. Today, if you guys like the video, make sure to smash the like button and maybe even consider subscribing for more. In today's video, we are going to be going over quote-unquote the exploration skill. This kind of seems to be what most of the community wants. A lot of people want sailing, a lot of people don't want a skill, and it kind of seems the people that want sailing also want it to have other aspects of other skills, and it seems most of the community wants to go for exploration. Now, this is just going to be my perspective of what I've kind of gathered from exploration and what I would personally like to see from it, because I was a really big fan of the sailing skill. So this is kind of what I would expect exploration to be like. Now, I'm saying this is not going to be 100% accurate. This is kind of just what I've kind of jotted down. Okay, so I would say exploration would be a combination of sailing, dungeoneering, artisan, and maybe even a little bit of archaeology. The reason I'm going to combine all of them is that it will make everyone in a way happy. Say people really wanted dungeoneering, it will have aspects of that. People that really wanted sailing, I mean, obviously sailing is a part of exploration, right? I think people were very confused, me and myself as well, on how you would actually train the sailing skill, right? Like, yeah, we want all the unlocks from sailing, like new islands, new places to explore, but how would you get sailing experience? And we don't want it to be like player-owned ports. Trust me, we don't want that. Okay, so this is personally how I would do the exploration skill. I would have it combined everything like I said, and I would have every 10 levels, it could even be every 5 levels, but for example, every 10 levels you will unlock a new area to explore, whether that be sailing to a new island, whether that be climbing the top of a mountain and noticing that there's a town there, whether that be mining so deep into a cave that you realize there's a whole civilization there. I don't know. What I think they could do is start it off with a quest. Now, I know this kind of, a lot of people don't like quests, but I think they would have to kind of start it off with a quest, maybe even a mini quest, just to help you get started. And that could be as simple as building a boat, where you'd have to bring the NPC the materials needed to build a boat. And it could be very simple, just like a little small boat. You go to an island and then you get your first little bit of exploration experience, and you get to, you know, do the activities on this island. And I think the activities you do on the island should grant you experience. So if you're on the island, say chopping the trees on the island, you gain woodcutting and a little bit of exploration. If you're killing the slayer creatures on this island, you should get your slayer experience, your combat experience, and a little bit of exploration, right? Now, I don't want it to be something that you can just camp, you know? I feel like the higher levels, or the more you unlock, maybe the more experience you get, right? We don't want it to just be something that you can just sit there and camp all day. And it doesn't just have to be sailing to an island. Say you climb the top of a mountain and you figure out that there's a whole town here. The same thing, you know, you chopping trees, you're mining rocks there, and you get your exploration experience, right? Maybe you get a lot more or a huge amount of it when you actually discover it. And then, you know, when you're actually just training your regular skills, you get maybe a small amount, similar to back in the day with Prifddinas. I don't know if you guys ever played that, where you would get your reputation for the town, similar to something like that maybe. People have been really wanting the artisan skill as well, me myself included. Basically what artisan is slayer for skilling. Now, my idea of it is on one of the islands or on one of the places you go and explore to, there will be this new thing called an artisan master, and you can go ahead and train artisan this way, and it will get you a ton of exploration experience, similar to slayer, right? But just for skilling. Now, this could just be like a mini game in the exploration skill, a cool way of training it maybe. So that I think this is cool because it would open it to all levels to train it, right? So if you are a level 3 skiller, you could train this skill maybe all the way up to 99, or if you're, you know, a maxed combat and you want to do something like raids or PVM, you can still be training exploration. I think this would make it work for all account builds. How archaeology would work into it is obviously finding new areas, maybe finding new, you know, rocks, different types of ores. Like I said, you could find a new altar to craft new ruins. This could be how you would, you know, maybe work into archaeology a little bit. Now, the real one is dungeoneering. A lot of people want dungeoneering, which is basically just like raids, right? I think on the higher levels of islands or areas that you go ahead and unlock, there will be a brand new raid there. I've talked about a skilling raid. There could be a skilling raid. There could be, you know, raids 4, or there could just be something like a mini game similar to the Gauntlet, right? Where we have to go ahead and go through dungeons, and this can be ways of getting, you know, exploration experience, right? Maybe similar to Dungeoneering, there'll be 1 to 60 or 80 floors or whatever there is, and if you go through all of the floors, that can be a huge chunk of your exploration skill that you can knock out with quote-unquote Dungeoneering, right? I think if the community just actually goes ahead and puts all these ideas together, everyone can kind of have their own say in this skill. It doesn't have to be called sailing. It doesn't have to be called, you know, Dungeoneering. We can kind of combine it together and make everyone happy so all accounts can actually train the skill. I'm sure whatever Jagex actually does and comes up with will be amazing, and I'm really looking forward to it. But people have been talking a lot about this idea of exploration rather than sailing, and I honestly think that it does make a lot of sense, right? You know, when you're exploring things in real life, you're not only finding them through a boat. You know, you can find them deep in a cave, you can find them on top of a mountain, you can find them anywhere really, right? You can find new dungeons that might have new Slayer creatures in, right? I think it would be a really cool idea to just call it something like exploration rather than just sailing alone. But yeah, anyways, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this, if you would want it to include all of the skills like Dungeoneering, Archeology, Artisan, Sailing, or would you want it to be a brand new skill with none of this involved? Do you want it to be strictly Sailing, strictly Artisan? And how would you kind of design it? Would you make it like sailing on boats? Would you make it you'd have to go deep underground? I'd be really curious to go ahead and know what you guys think about that. I think the main thing is to get this available to level 3s or all the way up to level 126s. There has to be a lot of different ways of training the skills, right? You could do the raids like I was saying, or you could even just chop trees on the island. I think there'd have to be so many different ways to train it to appeal to all players. If it's only strictly combat and you need combat to do it, skillers aren't going to do it, right? Or if it's so boring and just skilling, the PVMers aren't going to do it. It kind of has to be so many different methods for, I think, every account build. Ultimate Ironman, regular account, pures. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of exploration. I think this is what the community has been talking about the past couple of days. I've been getting so many comments about exploration, not sailing. So hopefully this is something similar to what everyone has been talking about. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later. Oh, before I go here, speaking of exploration, look how many lizardmen I have killed. Yeah, we've killed 8,175 lizardmen. And as you guys can see right here, where is it? In miscellaneous, I believe it's called. No dragon warhammer, man. Exploration, come on into the game, please.